What's good with you, Bo?
What's the deal, baby?
Nah, man, trying to get another day. I'm trying to get all my head in the front. My head is so big. Hold on.
It's another Tuesday. How y'all doing? My name
Yes,
is
sir.
Robert K, aka Two-Face, aka Bo, and this is my homie right
Terry,
here.
my man. Yes, sir. That's right. I'm Terry Dorsey, aka Shady, aka where y'all at today? Let's get this going.
Hey, you ready to get this going? You know how we got to get it going. It's our first topic of the day. I'm finna get your ass, boy. And I'm finna get everything about your body today and that background because you think you styling. You think you
Yeah, man. I'm not, man. I'm just out here trying to live. I'm just trying to live.
With your Golden State Warrior snuggie on.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean?
I never see the jersey hoodie on.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, little warm up.
How you got
little warm up.
Hey.
And jersey dress ain't had no hoodie, first of all.
Now the new ones do. You got that from Fashion Nova.
Oh, snap. You got that shirt from Fashion Over.
Oh, I was like this one body ass. What about yours? The Golden Gate Bridge is underwater.
Your shirt ashy. You got on an ashy shirt. You should have put some cocoa butter on that shirt, not just on that head.
Hey man,
your shirt ashy, bro.
I know you ain't talking about head, man. Boy, look at that head. You said. Woo. I know you was reaching out to your barber. Did you kill him? Because he did not do you justice.
That fool told me he couldn't even cut my hair today, man. I was like, I put you all over Facebook, and you gonna tell me holler at me on Wednesday. I'm like, you know my show on Tuesday. That's why I was doing it on Monday.
You know my show on Tuesday. That's why I'm doing it on Monday, sucker. I'm still gonna.
Yeah, man.
I'm mad at that. I'm mad.
You mad?
I'm mad at that.
Hold on, let me stretch. Let me stretch. Hold on. Oh man, let me stretch.
You got your belt on.
Yeah.
See,
yeah, I just had to stretch. I just had to stretch.
You didn't want to remind me on purpose. You knew if I brought my belt, everybody.
Greatness. I'm not just bringing the belt. This is bringing greatness on this show. I'm wearing all the champions that's ever won on this boy right here. You know what I'm saying? We got Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart's Heart of the City is on this belt right here. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, you ain't never lying. You ain't never lying. But right now, since you went on into it, it's time for our hot flex topic of the day. And our first hot flex topic of today is protesting positives. Come on.
Yes, sir.
Tell me something positive about the protests that's going on. Give me some protest positives, buddy.
Now, listen, I definitely want to get into this because this is something I made a conscious effort of on Sunday. I said, you know what? I'm not posting any more negative images about this protest. I think that we have fallen victim of our own problems, which is getting caught up in other people's problems. And I think if we would stop focusing on the negatives, we have a lot more positives to promote. Right here in the city of Oakland, I'm going to say this again, 5,000 plus peaceful protesters breaking curfew, one of the first cities to break curfew like that. And the police were told not to engage, and there was zero violence.
Nice. See, you know,
that's what we got to promote.
You know, we do have to promote that. What I did learn is that a lot of times in these protests, they say it was all peaceful until the police showed up. So what I got to say is a lot of times the police agitates the situation. Maybe they don't kick it off or make it worse, but they just don't make it no better. So let's try to stay peaceful, officers, like you're supposed to. And then, you know, we'll all be happy. You know what I'm saying? That would be amazing, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
All right. Now, I do want to bring up one thing that I didn't clear with you first, and this isn't positive. I'm not saying that it's not good for us to spread information. I want to make sure I'm clear on that. If something's happening that's foul that our people need to know that's going on, please post that information. But stop posting about Antifa and the lootings and the riot. We got the news doing that for us. We don't have to repost that.
Yeah,
you know. But one thing I saw, I don't know if you saw, I just saw this today, bro. That's why I didn't get a chance to clear with you for the show. Was they're putting plastic bags over people when they arrest them in Chicago? What the hell is that? Have you seen that?
Hey man, they've been doing that for the longest, bro. Y'all late, man. They've been plastic bagging people and putting them in places we ain't supposed to be for the longest. And you know, remember they had that building, that black building that they talk about all the time. I don't know what happened to Shady, but I think he left. I think I'm pretty sure his Wi-Fi just cut on the bottom here. But be careful out there, y'all. Seriously, can you hear me too? Yeah, welcome back. Hey, they tried to shut us down, man.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
we got to be careful what we say on this show, man. They listening now.
Hey, this is like the 5th time they shut us down every time we talk about something really hot. Our hot button topic been so steamy, but they don't want us to be positive. We've been
straight up.
We've been preaching togetherness and coming together and being positive, but they don't want that, brothers. So listen, we got to keep that though. So it's a lot of positives going. They changing a lot of laws. We gonna keep it going. I don't care what they think. We gonna keep it going because
straight up.
Because if we can keep marching and keep them changing these laws and choking people out, we don't want that. So we want a better government, and that's what we fight for. And it looked like it's working. What do you think, Shay?
Piece by piece, bro. Piece by piece. That's why me and you were talking earlier this week. For everybody who sat at home last week, don't feel bad about that. We needed you to sit at home last week so you can come out this week. And if you sit at home this week, we need you to come out next week. The peaceful protesters will be the voice of this, not the looters, not Antifa. Don't let them fool y'all about that. Don't feel like you can't go out. Go out. Walk, protest, make your signs. Let's speak on it. If you can't go outside, do it from the crib. Make sure you're resharing nothing but positive images. That's what they don't want us to see. They don't want the world to see that we're positive. That's why they're putting bricks there. That's why they're putting weapons for us to use against the police. That's why the police is antagonizing us. The more we show that we're not going to let y'all make us into the animals, the more the world is going to be behind this movement.
Hey, so look. With no more further ado, we're going to jump into our super artist spotlight, and we got a superstar. That's how excited we are to see not only the superstar, but he's our big brother artist spotlight. And, you know, the part of the spotlight is we like to just, you know, just link up to my big brother. So, what's up, big brother Leon? What's going on, brother?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What up, man?
Hey,
good to see you.
How you doing, man? We see you riding in the big boy truck, looking good.
Hey, man, I had to go take care of some business. I'm on my way back to the house now. But man, what was going on with y'all, man? The government trying to shut y'all down.
Hey, Leah, I got into it with this dude earlier this week.
I couldn't hear nothing. I was like,
bro, I'm telling you, man. I looked at my live feed where I got into it.
Black Panther shit.
Hey, no, dude, for real. It's like it happens when we talking about bullshit. Our stuff keep going. Every time we talk positive, we talk plus on black empowerment and black people, dude, our stuff start going on mute. They start holding off footage. Every week we do that, bro. It happens. Like it's crazy.
No doubt. You'll work it out. You'll work the bugs out. It's all good.
Hey,
yeah, man. You know, we knew with this. You've been doing this for a long time, man. You know, we still new to this.
Man. But right now, it's about you, man. We proud to have you on the show, man. Don't forget, bro. Like the first part of this is just big enough to you and all your career and the things you've done, bro. Like, you know, people don't realize you're doing Late Night with Leon, of course, and that is a banging show. That thing been going almost a year now, right?
Well, now it'll be a year in September, but we've been currently shut down.
See, every time you talk something positive.
You know, a lot of studios went blow. We're hoping to get back up and running by July, mid or late July, when they open the studios back up. But, you know, we had to shut down for a minute. I was doing everything online, like via IG and Zoom.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, we see you doing big things, man. And you still doing the radio show GTI. You still
Yes, sir.
got that show. How many segments do you do on GTI? I think you do like 19.
Nah, it's the whole morning show. It's a team effort. Myself, Kendra G, Cal, we all chime in on each other's segments. But the segments that I do, Leon's goofy ass person of the day, Leon and Leon's locker room. It's the little sports, our little sports thing. But we all talk throughout the whole show. So it's a team effort, man. I've been blessed to have that job now. It'll be coming up September 11th. Will be 15 years at the station,
Wow.
man.
Wow.
So I'm blessed,
Blessings,
bro.
bro.
Like I can't even, I can't even front. It's a blessing to be able to hold a radio job that long, because usually, you don't hold jobs like that long. The turnover for radio people is real quick.
Yes.
So
Yeah, that's true. Oh man, that is a super blessing, bro. And we know you've done a lot for our career, let alone for yours. You just don't realize the blessing you've been to us. But speaking of the sports show, you did the sports radio show on ESPN. I mean, how many shows can you have, man? You've done. Let's go down the list. I think we got a. I think I printed a list out of all your goddamn accomplishments, and it
Hey,
was
Leon. Hey, Leon, can you hear me?
yeah.
yeah, I can hear you.
You
Hey,
sound
Leon, you know what? You know what blew me, man? When I turned on the TV one day and I saw you and your daughter in a PlayStation commercial, I think.
It was for Madden. It was
Madden.
Madden 2009. Man, and that's when they had introduced this gameplay on there where people that didn't have that much experience could play, and then even the playing field. So it was
ah,
me and my daughter playing it. I beat the brakes off her in the first game.
No cap. It
you
don't
say you
matter.
beat the brakes.
We don't care about that. We don't care about that fair shit. I
Hey,
beat the brakes off her.
and the reason, hey, look, before you
That
get
is
into that list, Bo, because I need people to understand the type of brother that's on this screen. There was a birthday party that I talk about every year that you invited me to for your daughter. It was me and Bud Two Face. Dion was there.
Yeah.
I think D Ray was there. It was
yeah.
unbelievable. Like looking back, I told my son, I was like, you don't even know you met D Ray when you was about 4 years old, man, hanging out in the hundreds at
Yeah.
Leon Perez crib, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we were
Yeah.
young guns,
So
and you said, "Nah, bring your kids, man."
yeah, for Ashley, man, we always make it man, especially my wife. We always try to make the kids' birthdays special. Just for the simple fact, man, um, it's something you look back on and appreciate. Like I ain't one of them parents that if you're a year old, I'm throwing this big ass bash because you won. Like, but when you start getting up in age and you got your little friends and stuff, we definitely want you to have a good time. And we tell people to bring their kids because at the end of the day, we know each other on a professional level, but it's good to see, it's good to have your homies hang out and interact with their kids too.
Nah, 100%, man. Like that was big for me, man, and it was beautiful for all these black men that had their kids in the hundreds celebrating life.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
You a
yeah,
real
that's a
father,
beautiful thing,
bro, and
man.
that's something a lot of people might know. I've known that because that was probably in 2001. You a
Right.
real father. D Ray's a real father. He said
Yeah.
he ain't never missed one child support payment.
And that's
But
how you
that's
do
a
it.
I'm blessed I don't have to do the child support payment. I'm still with my wristband.
hey, keep
You know what I'm
it
saying?
that way, bro. Trust
Hey,
me. Keep it that way.
hey.
Oh,
And it,
oh no! If I get divorced now, it's over for the world. Like,
oh,
like I ain't having no more kids. I'm done. I'll be 50 next year. Ain't nobody
Right,
trying to
right.
have no more kids.
Hey, and
Me and
that's
my
but
stuff
that's
tied
something
up, and
that's
this
something to
stuff
speak
tied up
on though.
crazy.
Because the thing is, I also know that woman has been so supportive over the
man.
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
She done put up with a lot of shit.
A
Yeah.
lot, man. But
Yeah.
she was right there. She was right
Yeah.
Yeah.
there though. And I
Listen,
Yeah. She
respect
knows
that.
me.
I can't. There's no there's no words to describe Ruth Nicole Rogers. She a G. Like bottom line,
100.
wouldn't have had it any other way.
Mm-hmm.
Been married. We'll be married going on now for 18 years. We've known each other 23. So We've known each other for
Wow.
like the majority of our lives. So yeah, she just celebrated a birthday too Sunday.
That's what's up, man. Happy birthday to the queen, man. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Hey
Now
man, I'm gonna
let's get into this rap sheet.
get
Right.
into this list. Hey, Amir said D-Ray was everywhere and didn't act funny when he was moving up. That is true. D-Ray did not act funny to everybody. So that's cool, you know what I'm
I
saying?
got
But
that dead air going. I like this.
yeah.
Yeah, dead air.
Oh, you
It's
don't hear me?
awkward.
You don't hear me? That's
You can't
funny.
hear us? They hating, bro.
Hey,
Yeah.
let's get this
I'm
list
missing.
going.
What happened to Two Face?
You don't hear
You
me?
see?
Tell
That's
you hear
cool.
me?
We a tag team. We'll make it happen. Look, let me
Okay,
break it down.
I
How
was
about
listening.
this? Yeah, I got you, G. Now, I just want to run down some of your credits. I had the pleasure of being on set with Leon in Barbershop 2. He was also in Barbershop 1,
Yeah.
Tuskegee Airmen, Sports Unplugged. I'm talking about multiple seasons of Comic View. This off the dome. I'm trying to think. It wasn't Martin Lawrence Presents, was it? You did. It was
Martin
it
Lawrence
was
presents one First Amendment.
First
First
Amendment.
Uh,
That's
one.
the one I was looking for because you tore that
Jamie
up, bro.
Jamie
Yeah,
Foxx laughing Palooza.
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Sports
Cedric the
Unplugged.
Enter- Cedric the Entertainer starting lineup.
Yes, sir.
I've been blessed to be able to do a lot. Started out my radio career on Power 92.
I remember that when they first
That's where I
launched the
had Sports
station.
Unplugged,
Yeah.
and then went over to WGCI, and I've been there. And
Uh,
now I've been with my family, and my later with Leon, and I had my little runs on Windy City
yes,
Live.
sir.
With my man on the Pat Tomasulo show when his show was on. Shout out to Pat
Yes,
Tomasulo,
Yeah.
sir.
good dude. Yeah, so I mean, I've been blessed, dog. Like, I think a lot of people, I think the one thing that I learned to do is never look at somebody else's success and judge myself to their success. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
What's for me is for me. That's the bottom line. What's for me is for me, and I can't control that. Like, I can look at D-Ray, Corey Holcomb, Dion Cole, all the people that's out in LA and be like, why didn't I do that? Well, that wasn't my path. Like,
Right.
a higher power spoke to me and said, look, you need to be here in Chicago. I'm going to keep you on this radio. You need to be a voice that people can hear and relate to, through all the madness and chaos, like what we're going through right now. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I take pride in getting on the radio and speaking, trying to feel like I speak for the regular Joes
Mm-hmm.
that can't get up there and talk, but at the same time keeping my job. You know what I'm saying? Because they
Yeah.
asked me, I remember when it first kicked off, and I was sitting in on a Zoom call, a Zoom thing with the Jam. Shout out to the
All
Jam,
right.
they good people too. And they asked me, they said, Leon, how do you feel? And I looked in the camera, I said, well, to be honest, as a black man, I can't really tell you how I really feel right now because I won't have a job. And then me telling
Exactly.
you that
Mm.
tells you how I feel.
Exactly.
Right.
And it's like, I mean, you catch some flack from brothers. No, you supposed to tell them this, that, and the other. I said, bro, let me tell you something, man. I got a family to feed. I'm
Right.
never going to sell us out, but I'm not going to sell my family out neither. You know what I'm saying? But they know how upset I am, and they know, at the end of the day, this nonsense has to stop. I'm not, when they charge the dudes and stuff, I was happy, but I'm not going to be fully happy to lay behind bars, all of them, and they get football numbers like they give young black men out here for
Yeah.
bags of weed.
Hell
You know what I'm
yeah.
Straight
saying?
up.
And next thing you know, because Joe Biden and them put this law into effect, now this young brother's in jail at 20 years old. He got 10 years. You know what I'm saying? For some marijuana. Because it's his
Mm-hmm.
third
Right.
strike or whatever. Like, that's the bullshit. Now, I speak on that, but, for me to honestly say how I felt, or when they ask me how did I feel about the stores downtown getting looted, you don't want to know that answer. You don't want to know that answer. Because,
They know the
I might
answer.
not be
They
there
know the
tomorrow
answer.
when y'all
They
hear the
know the
answer that
answer.
I got.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
now when I look at our communities, I don't condone rioting. I don't condone looting. But when I tell people you have to understand the anger and the pain, man, we tired of getting the shit kicked out of us. And there's
Yeah.
Yeah.
nothing that comes from it. You know what I'm saying? And for all the people that be like, well, peace is the answer. Look what peace did for Martin Luther King. Yup, they shot him too.
They
They
did.
killed
Yeah.
him too.
Yeah.
They killed Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? Huey P. Newton is gone. You know,
Yes,
my man
sir.
right here from Chicago, Fred Hampton, gone.
Yes,
They
sir.
ran great people like Stokely Carmichael out of the country. You know what I'm saying? Because they were a threat because people would actually listen to them. You know, Minister Farrakhan got to walk around with 30 bodyguards because at any time they might want to take that brother out because he speaks truth. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a compromising situation being a black man and a black woman in media.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's just compromise, man. You know, I feel sorry for them because they have to report the news. They got to report it. You know what I'm saying? They don't get to expound and put their feelings on it, and that's why I'm glad I have later with Leon because I can say, "Hey, that's some bullshit." You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That I hope they give these people life in jail and this, that, and the other. Whereas the reporter has to just report the news, no matter how much is killing them inside, to talk about it. So I'm just blessed, dog. I don't look nothing, and I'm always trying to add to the resume. You know what I'm
See, they
saying?
trying to hate it. You see what they
Yeah.
on?
See, right now they glitching you right now,
Like
Leon. While you
it's a
talking
lot
positive,
going the
see how they
See,
doing it.
that's
See,
crazy. Now,
now they not glitching me and Shady right now.
on a
Me and him talking clear.
bunch of
See, they do this on purpose, y'all.
behind my name. You know, that I want people to
Hey,
see. Yeah, I mean, we might have find some intelligent young black brothers and build us a platform.
straight
You
up.
know what I mean? That we might have to invest some money in some little young little genius dude and have him put
mhm.
together, you know, a dope ass site where we can launch from there. You know,
Yeah, like the bo&terry radio show. Now, look, this is what I was gonna say to you. You are the
you
epitome
still
of.
got me or we out?
I got you.
Yeah.
Can
Can
you
you
hear
hear
me?
us? Can you hear us?
Cause you ain't saying nothing. You just smiling in the camera like you just smoked a
All
pound.
right. Now listen, Leon, you are the epitome. Hold on.
Can you hear
Hold
us? Can
on.
you hear me?
He said
Can
he
you
can
hear me?
hear. Can you?
Yes,
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
I can hear
You
you.
are the epitome of
How much
manifest
marijuana did
destiny.
you smoke before you came on? Cause your
Hey,
eyes
look,
is
just
low as hell.
it's enough so I
I
won't
want to
be
be. I
angry
want.
black man on the show. Because
I
Yeah.
want to be
angry
where
black
you at.
man. You,
I'm about to go ahead and light me one up.
hey,
All
hey, I'm
right.
gonna send you my address. We
But
could.
now
Legal.
I'm
Legal.
gonna send you
it's
the
a
address. But
it's a blessing to just be able to. Man, I see the. Is that the machine MK3 back there in the background?
What you talking about?
The little beat making joint
Oh
behind
yeah,
you.
yeah. That's that APC. That's the APC joint in the back.
yeah, yeah,
See
you know,
the other way. That's a machine MK3? Yeah. I just bought
yeah,
one. I'm teaching myself production now.
Nice.
You know,
yeah,
I'm making
yeah,
these
yeah,
beats.
yeah,
I mean, you
Yeah.
DJ Leon
That's why I
already
told
though.
yeah,
You
yeah.
already
Yep.
DJ Leon.
Yep.
And that was part of your
Yeah.
intro. I was gonna give you the DJ. I'm like, look, he the DJ. He DJ. He'll host your show.
Yeah.
He'll produce a show for you. He'll bring the comics. Hey,
This
Leon,
is
look,
a.
this spotlight
This is a.
literally is to show people and let people know, hey, thank you, Big Back. Hey, my Big Back producer who bring your Big Back ass. He won't
It be the ugliest ones to be the
hey,
funniest too.
yeah,
Ain't that?
Oh man,
yeah,
this
this
is
is
the
my producer.
guy, bro.
Hey, this ain't been the same. I just want to say one
Genius
thing.
with
Hey,
Shout out to Leon.
he
What up?
all showed their neck, ain't he?
Hey, hey. Hey, Jordan still over Kobe. Rest in peace, Kobe, though. To Leon. Because we used to always argue about Kobe and what was that in the state all the time?
Yeah, the
About
state.
Kobe and
Yeah,
LeBron after
Oh.
DC was around. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? But I
Yeah.
also want to say that shout out to this brother too. And
Yep.
Terry, you know what I'm saying? This man been doing this thing since
We,
the
we
slavery
sure
days.
did.
And
Good job.
his skin tone still look like soil. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about the Remy. You know what I'm saying? My nigga.
Get your bait back ass.
Leon,
Leon. Hey,
GSP.
this spotlight is for my dog Leon, man. You've done everything. Yeah, everywhere. Everybody I know loves you, man. Hey, look, we appreciate you being a part of. We appreciate you like helping us, bringing us in the game, starting us. It shows you took us to Indianapolis for the first time we ever been on the road. Let me get a towel, big back.
First headliner out of Chicago to take us on the road was Leon Rogers.
Dude, do
Respect.
you remember that trip to Indianapolis the first time? I don't think he did.
At yeah, the name of the spot
You don't remember that?
was called the Cozy. It was on Tuesday night.
Tuesdays, yup.
See, yeah.
Come back to the Cozy.
Hey,
Yeah, man.
we gonna get into that trip later.
Avenue.
Yeah, we gonna get into that trip later. Right now, I want to show a little clip from you. You know what I'm saying? Let's let people laugh a little bit with you. I got a clip from Leon Rogers. Let's get some jokes here, man. Before
Yeah.
we get too serious, y'all.
What's up, y'all? And I represent Chi-Town to the fullest, man. Wild Hunters in the building. I just want to say, man, these thugs out here, I heard a couple of comments talking about thugs earlier. Thugs are getting real intelligent now. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. It's cool, but it's crazy. Because, you know, they on more high-tech shit. Everybody out here got a friend right now that's been in jail so many times, they could tell you the punishment they're going to get from the judge before they even go to court. You know it's crazy. You know, I say get tough on criminals. You know what I'm saying? Make capital punishment tougher. Get rid of prisons. Why should a prisoner get to go to jail, get 3 hots in a cot, and get a college education before some of y'all kids? You could get a degree in jail. So when my daughter get 18 and be like, Daddy, I want to go to college. Well, bitch, rob a liquor store or something. Get your associates and then do a double murder and get your masters. Don't come, you need to learn how to move your own way. I'm serious, I'm in the club, my boy the other day, he looking at 15 years to life and he kicking it like ain't nothing the matter. Cause he know how, he gonna defend himself in court. I say, T, dog, I ain't trying to be in your business, but you looking at, 15 years to life, pimpin'. He's like, look, cuz I ain't worried about that. Check this out. See, this what's gonna happen, man. For the 2 kilos of cocaine in the car, they can't put that on me because my fingerprints ain't on it. You understand me? For the dead body in the trunk, I don't even know who the hell that is. The car is not stolen. It's my baby mama car, but she be mad because I be picking up other broads in it. So she called my parole office on me. Now, the most they got me for is violating my parole, which I can go back in, finish, do the 4 years, get my associate's degree, come out, kill everybody that told on me, make it look like self-defense, go back in, get my master's in physics, come out and work for NASA, nigga, yeah. I like, if you got it all figured out, another bottle of Moet on the astronaut over here. Yeah. I say make the punishments tougher. Make you not want to even, we ain't gonna do jails. And we not gonna do the death penalty because I don't believe taking a life brings back another life. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Or if you're gonna do it, be creative. You know, like lethal injection. I think that's the sissiest way to go out if you a mass murderer, you know? Make it creative. Put crazy straw tubes in the room so they can see it coming. You'd be like, oh, that's Kool-Aid. All right, here come the real shit. I say involve the animal community in punishment. Animals take care of their problems in the jungle and the woods by themselves. They don't need no judicial system. You know, let me be a judge. I involve the animal community. You know, because criminals come in, they get their time and they tough. That's a code, a badge of honor. They give you 7 years, you a G. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to change all that. I'm a judge. Hey, what's up, T? What's happening? You all right, brother? Okay, all right, guys, y'all go away. I got my 45. I'm cool. Look, that's messed up what you did, man. 2 kilos of cocaine in your car, man, you know, riding around with a dead body in the trunk. Plus, you led the police on a 6-block chase, which resulted in the death of a 95-year-old woman and a 6-month-old Cocker Spaniel puppy. Now, I'm not tripping on the old lady because she had 1 foot in the grave, you understand what I'm saying? But I love Cocker Spaniels. See mine right there? I love them, so I got to do something for you for that, all right? Now check this out. I'm not gonna put you in jail because I don't believe in jail. You shouldn't get to live and eat and work out and have a nice body, you know. And I'm not gonna give you the death penalty. Yeah, I'm not gonna give you the death penalty either. But I tell you what I am gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. We got something for you. I want you to put on this female gorilla suit with the ass cut out. All right. And we're gonna stick you in that glass cage over there with these 12 silverback alpha male gorillas that's been trained to bang anything that fall in that cage till they go to sleep. Now, what this means is, by law 2-.1, paragraph 6, that if you're banging 12 and one wake up, you gotta stay in till everybody night-night. I ain't no freak or nothing, dog, but I watch Discovery Channel. You ever seen a gorilla penis? Woo! Look like a Pringles can wrapped in black electrical tape. Man, oh boy. Could you imagine that, dear? You'd be scared. Criminals will come out the courtroom crying like little girl, knowing that they finna get banged out by 12. And I'm not talking about the little goofy gorillas that flip around. I'm talking about the big hump-headed ones that just sit at the zoo and look at you while you look at them. The real gorillas. Be one gorilla just won't hear. He come out the courtroom then crying. Oh, God. Yo, T, what's wrong with you, fool? We killers, man. What they give you? 10, 11 years? No. No, they did not give me 10 or 11 years. That would have been a blessing. I just gave me 12 gorillas. I can't do 12 gorillas, dog. I'm not a G. Conversations with your lawyer be totally different. Your lawyer come in. T, how you doing? This your mom? Pleased to meet you. Hi, my name is Greg Wojciechowski. I'm gonna be your attorney on this case. And let me tell you right now, in my 15 years of law experience, I've never seen anything like this. I mean, you got possession of cocaine with intent to sell, dead body in the trunk, riding in a stolen vehicle, and vehicular homicide of a 95-year-old woman and a Cocker Spaniel puppy. Now, I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you and frank. In my 15 years of law experience, I've never seen anything like this, but I can tell you right now, without standing before a judge, jury, without even going to the law books, I have to be honest, you're looking at 8 orangutans. Now, stop crying. There's light at the end of this tunnel. You give me some names, you sign this piece of paper, I go to the DA, and just maybe, I get you 4 baboons and a chimpanzee and you walk. Maybe not today, but you'll walk eventually. And you know, it'll be brothers in the courtroom talking about, is the baboons as big as the orangutan? Because I ain't no snitch, you know what I'm saying? It would change the whole game. Dope dealers who boys get locked up and get put back out on the street the next day, they'll find out how they boys are snitches. It'll be a whole different thing, you know what I'm saying? They be like, yeah, so what's up, T? Yeah, what you say to the police? I ain't say nothing, dog. Yeah, you ain't say nothing? Okay. Well, we're gonna take a little trip. Well, where are we going? To the zoo. You scared? Come on, get in the car, man. We going to the primate house. They walk in front of the primate house. What's up, y'all?
Hey, sorry, man. Yeah. Hello?
We can only give him so much. We need to click on it.
Yeah. Hey, and then this Wi-Fi, actually, I think they said it's a storm coming. And I just had Leon.
Oh, it's a storm coming.
Yeah, man, hey, Leon is hilarious, bro. And they definitely don't want us to.
You gotta mute the video. You gotta kill the video, bro. There it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's all good now.
Okay, no, that's Leon.
Let me say something, because I wanted to say this while Leon was in the screen, man. Leon is the epitome of manifest destiny. I remember when he started using the tag Destin Legend.
Exactly.
This man has been on multiple TV shows. He hosts multiple shows on the radio and the TV. This man this is the difference. Where everybody running around calling themselves savage, you're gonna end up being savage. This man said he was a destined legend, and look where his life led him.
He's a legend now. Leon, you with us?
That's what it's about, man.
Man, and it's beautiful. Like, this is the interview part of the show. And a lot of people been asking questions. Oh,
Hold on, bro.
you got the Thanos.
All right, that's what we on.
That's what
Got
we
the
on.
Thanos glove.
Okay, so look, Leon, we know. Can you hear me? Hello, Leon, where you at, man? Can you hear me?
I think his signal went out. He was like, "I'm gonna just leave this Thanos glove up there."
I think something about the Thanos. I don't know if he can hear me. But when he come back, it's ready. It's time for the interview part. But Leon,
That's cool. You can ask me Leon questions. I know what he gonna say. What you want to know? What you want to know, bro? Tell me.
Now. No, man, you know, it's time for the artist interview, man. We gonna get this here. I think it's storming out here, guys. It says tornadoes going on.
Hey, man, it's a live show. I keep trying to tell everybody it's a live show. It's gonna be some hiccups.
And there's always hiccups. So what's gonna happen is we gonna wait for Leon to come back. So when he come back, though, we do want to ask him his take. We already got his take on what's going on with the environment and all that. What I kind of want to know a little bit is some of his favorite toys, because Leon is into a lot of things, but people, I don't think they know he got a lot of, like, you see the Thanos glove. So I want to know what's his favorite, like, trinket. You know, I know you got the belt on.
Yeah, but while we waiting for that, man, we gotta wait for him to jump back in anyway, man. People need to understand the reason why Chicago comedy has been able to have the impact nationally and internationally that it has is because of the brotherhood of comedians that come out of Chicago. And this is one of the brothers that I looked up to way before I touched the microphone. Saw him on TV way before. And when I met this brother, he was better than I expected him to be. I expected him to have a little bit of air about him. And Leon's never carried any airs.
Never.
You know?
Never.
This brother was tearing down TV shows when I met him, and he treated me like his brother from day one. And that's the difference, man. We had a bunch of brothers that were ahead of us that were doing things that gave us a blueprint and showed us how to do those things. And Leon Rogers is one of those people.
Yes, he is. Yeah, that's been.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real. No, he stuck with us, and he took us on the road, and he was never fake or phony, and if he was, man, I mean, I don't see it, and I don't know.
I ain't never seen
I
it.
wouldn't believe it if you told me. You know what I'm
100.
saying?
You know? He got us booked. This is a man who got us booked at clubs. This is a man who put his neck on the line, and no BS. He probably wouldn't tell nobody this. He had a super stupid suite in Detroit, and he said, you know what? I'm going to just bring them with me. I'm going to put it on my dime, so this club can see these two brothers because I think they special. And then they booked me and Bo to open for Aries Spears right after that. You know what I mean?
He was shout out to Mo Good and Leonard and Big L on the and Fernandez Mac. What's up, baby?
What up, Mac?
Yeah, so yeah, a lot of people, Amir on there, Darian Shelton. A lot of people saying what's up. Just want to.
I still owe Mac $100, and he still answered my calls. I'm gonna get you that money, Mac. I swear, man. I just been, it's rough out here, man.
You know what? We got another clip to play. We can play that clip and then
let's play the clip real quick and then see if we can get it back.
Let's play the clip. Let's get a little more fun going on for everybody. We're gonna play one more clip of Leon. See if I can get him back on the line. Check this one out, y'all. This is crazy. Boy, Leon funny as hell. Text from Leon. He got a meeting, with Fox. Actually, he got an 8 o'clock show coming on tonight, and he was blessing us by saying, "I'm gonna come do y'all show." That's why I truly appreciate Big Brother. He really wanted to say goodbye. That's what he was trying to do, but the volume was messed up. I think it's a storm coming on It's farther where the rich people
It's
is.
a storm coming
Yeah,
on. I'm gonna
it
keep
ain't
saying that.
it's up there with the rich folks with Leon right now. So
It's a culture front on the horizon. There's a rise of the culture on the horizon.
you see how
You
they
know?
tried to mute him, right, G? As soon as he started talking about us getting together,
Bro,
building
yep.
together, us bringing together, us starting a collective, they started to mess with his signal in particular, and ours was fine. That's what I'm telling
Hey,
you, bro.
hey, you know my signal been garbage. My signal
No,
been straight garbage.
no, but it's been working when we talking about this. It's working now. Oh shit.
Oh, see, there they go. Oh, damn.
Damn.
Damn. They was like, shut up. Shut the fuck up.
Hey, this shit say take shelter now. Hey guys,
Yeah.
we finna go in there and hurry up with our next topic because
You stuck over there for the rest of the night, boy.
it say take shelter now. Go ahead, Shay. We know Shay is your topic. What you
Yeah,
want,
yeah.
brother?
What's up, good people, man? First of all, thank everybody for tuning in to the bo&terry show, man. We really appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. We really appreciate our guests as well. Thank you for Leon coming out, man. Again, honestly, I want to throw shade on anybody who's making this political, man. I understand politics create policies that move the people. I understand all that. But I don't care if you're Democratic or Republican. I don't care what party you align with or you don't align with. Some things are bigger than even our own government. Some things are bigger than our politicians, you know? And for anyone who's saying that this is every city that's Democratic is the ones that's having issues. Every city with a Democratic mayor. And if it ain't the city with a Democratic mayor, it's a city with a Democratic governor. Anybody who's pushing that type of narrative, I'd advise you to push a gun to your temple and then push that trigger. I mean, what makes you think that you can hijack a man's life for your agenda? I'm also throwing shade on Donald Trump for having the nerve on the day of a man's funeral that was killed by the police officers on national TV on nationally stream for all of us to see, to use that man's death to talk about your jobs report when every single job that wasn't essential has been shut down for the last 3 months. I understand this election coming up, but it's more than one way for you to grab viewers. It's more than one way for you to use this situation to your advantage. I think if Donald Trump really wanted to use this situation to his advantage, he could have said, from today forward, I'm going to put into executive order that any police officer that is found to have murdered anyone for any reason, whether they were guilty or not, has to be tried in a court of law and proven that his actions were just. You know what that would have done? That could have solved a lot of these problems. That he could use those executive orders to do that instead of shutting down our borders, building a wall, and saying that we're going to put a travel ban on brown people. That's what he's been using his executive orders for. But in the middle of crisis that has affected the entire world, he chose to say, look what I did, and use that man's death to do so. You know, anybody who aligns with that way of thinking, anybody who is promoting that type of life on their Facebook, anybody who still supports a man that would do something like that, you've already said what side of history you want. You got to live with that. But I'm in opposition to that. I'm tired of the politics in this whole situation. I understand it's political, I do. But some things are bigger than parties. Some things are bigger than this situation. Some things are bigger than our government. And I think we, as a body of people who elected these people, are bigger than our bodies of government. And we have to continue to show force. And I'm not saying loot. We just have to continue to put pressure on these police departments and put pressure on our governments, our local governments, not just our national government, to make real change so that we can at least turn ourselves in without being killed. I don't think that's a lot to ask for. That's the only, if you really look at the root of what's going on, black people, brown people, poor people are saying, can we at least turn ourselves into the police without being killed in handcuffs? That's it. And if you oppose that, you are letting us all know what side of that conversation you are on. That's all I got, bro.
Well, I'm gonna throw a little. I'm gonna jump on that because you got.
Come on in, bro. It's warm over here. Come on in.
What I want to say is I want to throw shade on Donald Trump he is the third worst built president ever, and to work out. And the only reason I say third is because I'm talking about
And
actual
we even had a
body.
president in a wheelchair. We had a president in a wheelchair, and somehow Donald Trump is still built worse than FDR. I don't know that much about politics, but I thought FDR was pretty bad built. But this dude right here, man, could you believe that we had a president where they building statues of him with a tiny penis all over the world?
Yeah. Hey man, and we tearing down statues. We gonna talk about that later. Right now,
Yeah.
what I want to jump into is my unsung hero, and I got him. He is on the line, and the good thing about my unsung hero is he like Batman. So my unsung hero, he wear the power gloves. If you know him and you know if he put the gloves on, it's on and popping. Yeah. But what I'm gonna say is, my unsung hero is my homeboy, Cello. What up, Cello? Unsung hero.
Hey, Cello, you gotta turn your volume down, bro. You gotta turn your volume down a little bit, bro.
Turn your volume down just a little bit. Can you hear me?
1 2 1 2.
Yep, we got you, brother.
Can you hear me, Shady?
Yep.
Yeah, I got you, B.
Yo, what about black ass Bo? He got me.
I hear you.
Damn, why your audio so clear?
Because I got my headphones on, and they like worth $300.
You sound like a male sex phone operator, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
You funny, maybe.
He was like, yeah, man, I'm all good. I'm right here, baby. I'm ready to talk about this injustice.
So let me tell them a little bit about that.
Peace to y'all brothers, man. I just want to say before we get started that you know, we all 20 plus years into friendships, you know, and I'm seeing you brothers grow in y'all careers as comedians, and we've all had some ups and downs, crack, all types of stuff,
yes, sir,
in life. And no matter what, this is what friendship's about, especially, you know, in the black community. And I think you two brothers, all of us, all the whole crew, the whole NIG, you know, Keith Kids, you know, band family, we all shine an example of sticking together no matter what, you know, as life goes on and life changes and bring, you know, the obstacles, you know, we still stick together.
Yeah. Now, I want to point out to everybody, one of the reasons why he's calling in with audio is because this man is literally on the front lines of this situation. And this is a civil war. I don't know if anybody else is paying attention to that. So we got to make sure that we protect who he is for the people who don't know him. Now, for the people that know him, you already know what he looked like. And ain't no point in us putting his picture up on the screen. He's not that attractive.
You're right. He is terrible. Shit. He looks terrible.
So this is much better that
you hear me?
You hear his words.
Can you hear me, Terry?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so look, what I want to say is that our hero today, honestly, I want to jump into like your hero shit because, like, bro, you really are a hero to me. And when I called you, you thought I was bull. Like, seriously, like, y'all should have heard the conversation this morning because when I called Cello, I'm like, bro, I need a hero, and I think you're a hero because of the things you do. He's like,
you gotta mute, Cello. You gotta take your volume down, bro. You gotta take it down. I know if you got your headphones, or somebody, either Bo or Cello, gotta take your volume down. I know we live. I just want to make sure I'm here.
Mine is muted.
You gotta take your volume down.
Mine is muted. I'm on the headphones. My computer, my laptop.
You know,
down.
Well, you know, Bo ain't that smart, so.
Yeah, hey, look.
He scratched his.
Show. This is my job.
Hey man, last time I checked, it's the bo&terry show.
But so go ahead.
What I want to say though is, so I know you've been on the front line since day one. Before day one of this, when I'm saying day one, I meant 5-6 years ago. I meant day one of a lot of the old stuff that happened where you was on the front line. And I know that even now you was rioting during the riots to try to help the community. You've been cleaning up. You've been working every day in these hoods. Every day you've been seeing stuff. You've been in these meetings. You've been talking to aldermen and governors and elected officials. So what I want to say is we appreciate you doing that hard work that a lot of us don't even think to do. And I just want to give you a big shout out and tell you are a hero, bro. And we kind of want to know, Cello, tell us just a little bit about what you do, what you've been experiencing. And I really want you to start off with what you ended with our last conversation about the Constitution? Can you do that?
I could
Oh,
definitely do
yes,
that.
sir.
Well, this is my stance on the Constitution of the United States. The Constitution of the United States, when it was designed, it was not designed for you as a black man or a black woman in this country. All right. So, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you, bro.
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead. Why he go out? See, that's me. See, you know, people see that sting.
You be on that puffy, don't
Hey,
stop, can't stop.
man, I'm editing this shit. I'm gonna call him and tell his ass stop. We heard you and you were fine.
He was like, I'm out of here. I'm sick of these dudes,
Yeah,
man.
I know, right? No,
But
yeah,
continued rant. One of the things
yeah,
that
no,
we
you
were
were
talking
fine.
about.
You were fine the first time. We heard you the first time, bro.
Oh, okay, because it went out, so I didn't hear you. I have to
Okay.
go back. But anyway, the Constitution is not designed for you as a black man, a black woman in this country. It never was. So after the the Honorable Martin Luther King lost his life, Kennedy lost his life under political pressure. Lyndon Johnson was forced to sign that Civil Rights Act, and this is my opinion. At that point, the Constitution was lent to you. It does not belong to you. So you have to understand, as a black man, the statutes of any crime, you're not going to get the same punishment. See, because they will create definitions. Like, for instance, like example I gave, the influenza kid. They gave, oh, he's affluent. He doesn't know any better. So we're gonna give him house arrest for this quadruple vehicular homicide. And then you have the black woman, Amy Michael, 10 years ago in Atlanta, that had a similar situation where she, had a vehicular homicide. She gets 35 years in prison. It does not apply to you. So we have to understand that. And we have to carry ourselves, unfortunately, with that knowledge that this country is not designed for you in mind. Now, with that, you still can succeed, but no one's going to give you shit. Okay?
100%. Now, do you think that how do people miss that, Cello, when that same Constitution states that black people aren't even 100% human?
Well, what it really was said, all men created equal except the Negro.
Except the Negro. And it's proof. It's proof in what's happening right now. We have people, Marcelo, we have people that are upset that black people saying, can we be arrested without being killed while we're in cuffs? That's what people are mad at. Right now.
You know what? The fact that you even have to answer that question shows that this country is not for you. Now,
100%.
Before we go on, I want to make it very clear. I work with a lot of police officers. I come from police family, Terry. You know that. We've been friends
100%.
for Uncle John, all that. I got a lot
Yes,
of
sir.
friends that are cops. You know what I'm saying? I am pro blue, but I am not pro blue for the ones that are racist and carry their white supremacy, Ku Klux Klan carrying cards in their wallet and want to hide their racism and want to act like they want to come to my motherfucking neighborhoods and arrest my people. Like it's some white folks that are cops. They come to work for that. They want to work in these bad communities because they want to fuck with us. So I'm not for them. I just want to put that out there. If you are a great officer, I am for you. I understand. I'm with you.
I am too.
You know what I'm saying? I understand it's a horrible job. But see, what goes back to the question, this is slave mentality. You know what I'm saying? That we have to ask for shit. We have to ask for things. You see what I'm saying?
Well, see, this is my thing, Marcus. This is the thing, Cello. Now, when we were in high school together, we knew all the cops. We knew most of the cops. We 100%. Saw them on a regular basis. Now we have all these cops that are strangers to the communities that they're serving. That's a big problem for me.
It's a very big problem.
Do you remember when that cop told us that if we can beat him for 2 blocks on foot, that he'll let us go?
Yeah, I remember that.
Remember that?
Yeah.
He was being straight up with us. He was like, look, man, if y'all can make it 2 blocks, I'm going to run back to the cruiser and I'm going to get in there and find y'all. That was a cop trying to kind of bridge a gap. He did it in a weird way, right. But he was speaking to us. Now these cops don't speak to these people. All they do is not all of them, but a lot of these cops, they just show up in the community. They drive an hour away back home.
You also have to understand. Let's talk about Chicago because I really don't know too much about other cities, but I'm going to talk about Chicago. You have to understand something. Chicago the salary for the Chicago police officer is one of the highest in the nation. All right. You got people that took that test that never stepped foot in Chicago in their life, and they got
Right.
hired. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm gonna tell you where they fucked up at in Chicago. Now I'm all about vacation. I'm all about education. However, before 1998, the only thing you needed to be a Chicago police officer was a high school diploma and able to pass the agility test. Now, if you go back to the late 90s and the 80s, we had a lot of good officers. You had a lot of good officers look like what? Look like me and you. You see what I'm saying?
100%.
So when they did that, because they thought that, hey, if they have education, they could be better officers. Let's fast forward to Van Dyke. Van Dyke had a fucking master's degree. He was a fucking murderer. You understand what I'm saying? He killed that boy in cold blood. I'm not an officer, but if I was an officer and I got a kid walking down the street, he could walk his ass to hit a Joliet till he get tired. And then we want to arrest him. I'm not going to gun him down in the middle of the street because I felt, quote
Right.
unquote, threatened. There was nothing threatening about that video with Laquan McDonald. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And most of these officers, if you look at COPA and you look at their records, a lot of these officers have education. You know what I'm saying? But they don't come from this city. And then you have an element who are, law enforcement has been in their family, but they don't live in these communities. They live in Mount Greenwood. They live in fucking Maryville. So they go home. They see the shit that happened in our communities. That is very terrible.
Now, Cello, I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you a question, man.
Go ahead.
And this is just man to man. And I want everybody, if you got an opinion on this, leave it in the comments, man. Do you think that a police officer should be held to a higher standard of law because of the privileges they are given? Just being honest.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say no because I'm gonna take a chapter. And I was telling my homegirl this before I got. So I told her I was going on the call with y'all. I'm gonna take a page out of Ebony K. Williams, who I admire. Ebony K. Williams, and she does the podcast with Joe Budden, and kudos to her for getting her own show. Her quote is like, "We have to go federal with this because it can no longer be what I thought that he was a deadly threat. It has to be necessary. Like it has to be absolute that he was a deadly threat. Not that I think or I felt my life was in danger, because as a citizen, you know, say when you're able to carry a gun, you have to prove without a reasonable doubt that your life was in danger.
Yeah, exactly.
Police have too much a wiggle room, and that wiggle room is causing a lot of unnecessary deaths in the black community.
And that's why I think that they should be held to a higher standard. I think if every cop that ever had to kill anyone had to go to court in a court that was not in police sanctioned, a public court, to prove that they didn't do anything wrong,
but see, because
it would stop a lot.
But see, because of that higher standard, they have things that is in place, loopholes to protect them. That's why I say they need to be held on the exact same standard as any fucking citizen. You are not immune to homicide. You are
that
not
makes
immune
sense.
to brutality.
And once you say that, it does make sense, and that's why I'm glad you said that, because at first I was thinking maybe not, but yeah, they really should have the exact same rights we got. Like literally, if you here to serve and protect, like if a firefighter came and killed me, like literally murdered me, like killed me, he would go to jail. You know what I'm saying? So why shouldn't the police officer? Like, you know what I'm saying? This is
right.
Public.
Right. It's exactly. Like even fucking running the red light when it's not an emergency. They need to stop that.
Exactly.
Because a few years ago, we had to talk to CPD about that. Like, stop doing that shit, because you're making it hard for us to defend you when people say, why the police doing this and that.
It's abuse of power.
Right.
It's abuse of power.
Exactly. That's why, like I said, the higher standard comes with loopholes. It comes with loopholes that was
I see what you're saying.
Designed to protect them, and those loopholes are what have gotten some of these officers that should have been convicted, got them off the hook.
Exactly.
You know, so you gotta look at the bigger picture. You know what I'm saying? Because like I've been educated on more things lately. Like I said, I thought it was state by state. I did not know that statute was federal. You know what I'm saying? You know, like it must be without a reasonable doubt. You know what I'm saying? That your life was in danger. Not I think. Because now,
and that's why,
right. Go ahead.
No, and that's why we wanted to bring you on the show to talk about these laws and things that actually have been turned around and changed because of the marches. Now we're not telling people to loot. We get everybody hate that right now. It's been going too far. It's been about 2 weeks to loot. Come on, man. Ain't even nothing else to loot. We get it.
Because it's taken away
Marching, we
from
always can continue,
it's.
and we see that it's affecting change. They're changing laws as we speak, bro. So what do you think about that?
Well, here we go. Right now, the conversations with here in the city has strictly been about rebuilding the neighborhoods. We have lost track
Mm-hmm.
about the real conversation. The conversation needs to be about the abuse of power. Okay,
100%.
and that conversation has been lost,
Mm.
and it's very unfortunate
Hmm.
because you know because
That's what, but the agenda, the same thing they did with Kaepernick, flipping it, flipping his protest into disrespecting the flag. Now they're flipping the biggest civil rights movement into Antifa. These are things that have been going on for a long time. But before we put the cart before the horse, Cello, you've done a few things recently. You published some things recently. What was that you had published
with
recently? It was with the
are you
firefighters
talking
here
about
in
you talking
Chicago.
about tour of the 23rd Battalion, my book? Yeah, tour of the
Yeah,
23rd
exactly. I
Battalion.
want you to talk about that because I know it's a lot to talk about, and we only have you for a little bit. But I want to make sure people understand who they're talking to, and maybe they can understand what you've done already. So tell us a little bit about that book.
Oh yeah, well I spent in after the death of Corey Acom in 2010. Corey Aiken and Edward Stringer, and the building collapsed at 1744 East 75th Street. Never forget that
Mm-hmm.
address. Um, I did a book because basically God tapped me on my shoulder and said I had to do something. I had to do something to honor these firemen and show that there are black firemen that are out here protecting these communities. So I spent 2.5 years with the 23rd Battalion that's located on the southeast side of Chicago. And I saw things. I saw things that opened up my eyes. And it's a difference between, when you standing on the opposite side of the yellow tape as a spectator, you only seeing what they're allowing you to see. But when you are inside that tape, it's a whole lot of shit going on, chaos that most people will not understand. And we have to,
Oh yeah.
and I got those lessons. It prepared me for my current career. You know what I mean? With this city, and um, there has been a lot. I've from there. I've helped 3 people get elected into office, and
Mm-hmm.
and I'm currently like responsible for a part of the city. And I see a lot of things. I engage with the community, and especially with my senior citizens and stuff. And
But in
it's
your
heartbreaking
community
right
in
now.
particular, because I
Even
know that
before the
community,
riots,
I know where y'all at.
before the
But
looting, it was very heartbreaking. Can y'all hear me good?
Yes.
100%.
Yeah, it was very heartbreaking. The things that go on in our community, and you have to have an objective opinion. You cannot let your feelings become overwhelm you. You know.
I
So
know,
I'll
and
land
I'm
the plane
guilty of
around there,
that. I'm
but go
guilty of
ahead.
that.
Me
I know
too.
I'm guilty of that, bro. But one of the things I want to
Fuck you.
say is that
But go
you're in
ahead.
a particular Marcelo. Can you hear me?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Marcelo,
Go
can you
ahead.
hear me?
Next question.
Yeah, he
Can
said
you hear
go
me,
ahead.
Cello?
He said go ahead. You can't hear him.
I don't hear Terry.
He
I
said go ahead.
Yeah, I told you he didn't hear me. He was talking to you, Bo. That's what I'm trying
I
to
hear
say.
you,
Ask
Bo. I don't hear
Cello.
Terry.
That's
Okay.
what I was trying to
Go
tell him.
ahead. Go
Now
ahead,
listen,
Terry.
Bo, ask Cello about what it's like in his particular neighborhood, because
All
that's
I see is
already a very
here yelling.
violent
Hello.
neighborhood.
What he want to know, I got to tell you. What he want to know is what it's like in your particular neighborhood, because we know your neighborhood. We've been in the neighborhood. We know they've been tearing stuff up, and y'all been trying to rebuild, and they still been back looting. But can you really give us a up to date, like today, June 9th, 2020? What's going on in your neighborhood on the south side of Chicago?
Right now, it's been destroyed. We're not sure if some of these businesses are coming back. They're saying that Walmart is going to come back with 83rd and Stewart, but that may be temporary. A lot of
Mhm.
the black-owned businesses, they don't, unless this insurance thing that the governor's talking about kick in, they may not ever rebuild. They might not ever recover. Um, we already were quote unquote a food desert. Now we have to take our money and go into white neighborhoods and spend money in their neighborhoods versus our neighborhoods. That's the effect. I have residents that have told me that they had to drive all the way to Evanston to go get groceries. Okay. Um, they had to go out to the suburbs to go use the ATM machine to go get medications. And they had to stand in lines in some of these places because everybody was going to this particular pharmacy because there was no Walgreens on the south side of Chicago that was operational to serve our community. We didn't do anything but hurt ourselves. So like I said, that's how been the conversation is rebuilding. The conversation of police brutality has been lost. That's all they're talking about. And my seniors are hurting.
But
They have no clue what they're going to do. And people should be ashamed of themselves because the only thing we did was make the white man richer. That's all we did. Because
But that's all we do anyway, though. That's the point. We do that anyway.
But see, that's a problem. So let's talk about the looting. Some of these people, their insurance policy is worth more than the store, the building. We know that for a fact.
Tell the truth.
Because we've talked to planning and development, right?
But see, that's white
They're gonna do
Wait, let her finish.
the Chicago way. I'm gonna get the lowest bidder, right? And I'm gonna rebuild it, and I'm gonna take the rest of that money and I'm gonna pocket it and do whatever. Congratulations, like I told my homegirl earlier, you just paid for somebody's daughter's tuition to college that don't look like you. Like these people are laughing at us. They're not. They don't give a fuck about what us burning down our own community. They was laughing. All you gotta do is look at the fucking comments on Facebook. Look at these niggas burning down their own fucking community, and now they got to come to us.
I understand.
So what have
I understand what
here?
you said.
Because
I
for
understand
years, on the conversation at every town hall was, we want Target, we want Walmart, we want Meijer, we want Mariano's to come to South Shore. We want these businesses to come, and now they like, we're not coming. You know what I'm saying? It's been aldermen on the South Side that's been fighting. And you got to think about this, Terry. I'm about to tell you. If you have to basically negotiate with the corporation to get them to come to a particular part of your neighborhood, they don't want to be there to begin with.
Tell the truth, bro. Yes, sir.
Because they're not fucking social workers. Their job is to make money. Okay, they don't give a fuck about you. If they cared, it wouldn't take this gentleman George Floyd's death for them to donate their $1 million or wherever it is
100%.
to whoever. We probably never see that fucking money anyway. You see what I'm saying? They would have been like, hey, we're going to serve these communities without a question. Because when they come in, they looking at crime, they looking at median income. These are the things that they looking at because they're here to make a profit. They're not here to serve you.
Period.
So we need to stop begging motherfuckers who don't give a fuck about you for shit.
Exactly. And your point is true. And that's where I want to get into because we don't have a lot of time on the show. We are running a little low and you bring up a lot of good points. And you talk about us destroying and the white man making more money and building. So only thing to what I hear though is that what we're doing isn't changing anything that what has happened. So, but what I do know is that the marching and the destroying has scared that man so much that they are changing laws across the nation. And that has never happened. What I've heard from Shady is this is the biggest civil rights movement
in history.
And it made the most movement. They actually are changing laws. They can't use, why do you have to tell people not to use the chokehold? But they can't use it no more. Nationwide. There's things that's actually happening. And I don't want to focus on the fact that the white people gonna make money because they're not getting our money. My thing is black dollars need to stay in black communities and black
100%.
people need to build up black people. So
100%.
Feed them in our communities. We don't want them to take your money and get the fuck out and leave us to buy our own shit and buy our own land and do Black Wall Street everywhere we used to have. From what I hear, that Black Wall Street, they didn't only bomb Tulsa, Oklahoma. They bombed a lot of black towns that day. They only talk about Tulsa because that was the most richest black town that they bombed. But don't get it twisted. I got paperwork too to show y'all next week. They bombed multiple black towns. They do not want us to have our own money and do our own thing by any means necessary. So why don't we talk about building that within the community? Because now that you can have your community, that they're gone. Do you even see that point that we trying to make? You know what I'm saying? When you
I definitely understand what you're
into
saying.
the people,
Like the way I,
You 100% right, bro. Go ahead, Terry. Go ahead, Terry.
but what I was going to say, the way I see it, what we just did was actually kind of a genius move, because what we did was we just lowered the value in all of the hoods, right? Now we got all these millionaires, we got all these billionaires. I want to see them step up right now. They made all that money off the backs of black people and say, we're going to be rebuilding our neighborhoods. We don't want the government's money. We don't want Myers' money and Walmart's money. We're going to put our own stores back in those neighborhoods, and maybe we'll have a little bit more park.
Right. You know what? But here's something else about that. All these insurance companies going to redline these neighborhoods. It's going to be more expensive to have insurance. Where, like I told y'all earlier, now somebody have a black business, they might not be able to open up on the south side where they want to, or the west side. Now they got to go to Hazel Crest. Now they got to go to Country Club, which is nothing wrong with that, because those are black communities. But
Yeah.
because these neighborhoods are being redlined, but trust me, they're being red. This is
well,
what part of the reason Prisoner was talking about the insurance thing, because the way
that's
the
because we use
underwriting
the
goes, you really can't tell them they can't do that, because again, there's laws need to be federal. And like I said, I support Ebony K. Williams and what she's doing, because like you said, there's a lot of laws that's being changed, but they're being changed by state by state. This needs to be federal. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
So,
agree 100%.
and as far as, look, we have to start loving each other. And I've been preaching this to some of my friends. I know they fucking tired of hearing me saying it, but you gotta have some joy in your heart. You have to have joy in your heart. If you have joy in your heart, I feel that you're able to get through anything in life. You gotta just love your people. Like, man, tell your guys, good job. I appreciate. Man, fam, I love what you're doing.
Yeah.
Let's stop competing. Like, I've seen so many young black people, including last Sunday, murdered. That I become numb to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I saw 2 people murdered on the day of the looting. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And I had to, protect the fucking medics, because why y'all fucking with the medics? The medics trying to save these people. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was
That part.
like, it was like, it was an evil that was over this city that I can't describe. I saw 10-year-olds looting. I saw people scratching and clawing at the gates to get them down, that was hurting themselves. And they bleeding and shit, and they still was so hell bent on getting into this store for some fucking gym shoes. What is the point of this? Because at that point, you're sinning in this man's name. You're not proving anything. You're not changing anything. Because George Floyd, we need to focus on him. Now that I said, you need to turn the whole conversation from him onto rebuilding the neighborhood. And the conversation needs to be
Right.
what makes sure what happened to him never happened again. And
Now,
unfortunately,
now before we get shut
it may
down,
happen
though,
again.
before we get shut down, let's be clear. I've seen a lot of protesters and rioters that were arrested that didn't look like me and Bo and you. I've seen
Well,
a lot of
like I
looters
told
that,
y'all,
you know,
Antifa is not for us. Antifa has their own agenda. Don't let I've had several run-ins with them, branches of them, branches of Antifa. I'm gonna give you a short story of one of my first ones. Remember when a gentleman got shot on 71st and Jeffrey because he was carrying a gun, and then he went for it and they shot him, whatever the case may be? There was protests behind that right here in Chicago. When we went back and looked at the tapes, there were white people that were throwing bottles of feces and urine in the crowd, but black folks got arrested. When you start running them plates is coming from Schaumburg, Aurora, Naperville. They don't even fucking live in the city. So it's like they try to
right.
throw their rock and hide their hand. So they want to be anarchists. They want to fuck up other places, but they want to fuck up where they live at. But they want to come to our neighborhoods and talk about what we know. You're not for black people. You have your own motherfucking agenda. You don't like the government? Fine. You do that shit in your own fucking neighborhood. Don't come in my neighborhood and start chaos because your ass ain't show up at the police station to bail them young brothers out that got arrested.
Straight
You
up.
show you see what I'm saying? They don't give a
yeah,
fuck about us. I'm gonna tell you something. Always be leery of a motherfucker like that that's white. That's somebody they for your cause. No, they not. No, they not. You don't know what it's like to be black in America. You have no fucking clue. Just because somebody
Straight
told
up.
you don't mean that you understand, because you ain't felt it. You ain't felt it. you know what I'm saying, on any level, not just with the violence, not that with the police brutality. We have the highest, we don't marry our women. We have a problem taking care of our children. We have a lot of shit that we need to fix on our own. That needs to be a black man and a black woman conversation. We don't need them in a motherfucking conversation. We got to take care of us. And it starts,
but it's
like
their
I said,
country.
Hold on. But look though, and to make that point, because look, we could talk about this all night, and
Yep.
you got
100%.
point. And we do need to take care of us. And before, your first statement was we need to give big ups to our brothers, and that's basically what this show was about. It's about giving big ups to our brothers, man. So we do want to give big ups to you, Cello, for you being in the streets and you handling your business. We know it's hard. We know it's difficult, but trust me, bro, we watching and we respect you and we respect what you're doing. So don't think that what you're doing has not been seen. We see you and it's appreciated, man. Keep doing it. You need the strength. You come holler at us anytime, every time. We do appreciate you for doing what you do and getting on the show. We do got to get on to the next topic because time is running really
Wait a minute.
short.
I know, but before we go, he's more than that too.
Go ahead, Shady.
Before we go, I want to make sure you understand. Not only is that what this brother's
I
about,
don't hear Shady, but
it's cool. They gonna hear me though. But
Yeah, hold on. Yeah. Let them hear him. Yeah. Go ahead, Terry. They can hear you.
I can't hear.
this man also produces music, man. He's not just doing all these other things. He's also a music producer. A lot of our friends are musically
We can't
inclined.
make him anonymous and then tell him who he is.
I'm just saying we not gonna say what, but on top of all of this, this brother also produces music.
To y'all. Shout out to Ty. You know he holding it down in Harvey. Y'all know he on the front lines on Harvey. So say a prayer to Ty. That's our NIG brother to the day we die.
Yes, sir.
Yo, I love y'all. I love what y'all doing, man. And Bo, I can't wait to see you to the top. Terry, I can't wait to see you to the top, brother.
Same here, brother. Same here, man.
Hey, definitely, we're gonna bring the crew back, and we're gonna have that. We're gonna bring you back one more day. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, we can see your ugly face, but appreciate you, man. Love you.
Love you, bro.
You're doing everything you do, man.
No doubt, family. Blessings to you, my man.
Blessings, bro.
Hey, man. You know, that was a good friend, man. You know, he Cello, man, is a good dude, man. You know what I'm saying? And we just love everybody that we know. Unfortunately, we just know some great people, and it's
now, fortunately,
blowing.
Not unfortunately, fortunately.
No, it is unfortunate because I got a good motherfucker all the time.
Nigga, that's fortunate.
Shit, I can't be a piece of shit because everybody I know is awesome.
We need to reprogram you, bro.
Every day, because these motherfucking amazing people we know got me working my ass off. I can't even pee right because I got to pee like a man. My pee got to be loud because these grown men in here peeing loud and shit. Look, man, shit. I want to pee trickles. God damn it, every once in a while. No, I don't. No, I don't.
I was like, bro, that's probably testicular cancer you hearing, but it's fine. I'm like, y'all, you better be careful what you ask for.
Okay. All right, man. It's FaceTime. Listen here. My topic today is actually it's COVID-19, motherfucker. First of all, COVID. What the hell happened to you? What? No, where COVID? Now, hey, listen, Corona. Like, is it just Corona out now? Corona just out now. COVID ain't out no more. Ain't no more COVID. Hold on. They said that we marched last week, and we gonna die this week of Corona, right? Are you feeling sick, marchers? I'm not feeling sick. I mean, they said that it's gonna be so many deaths of Corona. I'm not saying Corona ain't real because I had a lot of people die in my family and in the group. Trust me, I believe that the flu will kill you. Let's not get that twisted. But do I believe that they were using the regular flu to scare you, to trick you, to do other things? Maybe. Maybe we don't even know the real agenda of Corona-19 and COVID. Maybe we'd have no idea. But what I'm thinking is What I'm thinking is I did my research. So last year, somewhere between 60 and 70,000 people died of the flu. Year before that, somewhere between 66 and 72,000 people died of flu. The year before that, somewhere between 60 and 50 and 60,000 people died of flu. So what I was thinking was, if any of those years they could have just been like, ooh, flu, kill you, right? Right? What would be the difference? I don't know, but I'm just saying, did they use this flu this year to try and do something that underhanded that we don't know about? I don't know, but you conspiracy theories, hit me up and let me know. What you think, man? What you tell me what you think about the
Oh, I'll tell you. You don't want to know what I think, but I'll tell you. Nah, what I was gonna say was, it's interesting that they use protester footage to post numbers that were from the opening of the country. They are using this now to kind of push people back in the house to protest. And this echo. That's the feds, y'all. The feds been listening to me ever since I roasted this dude that worked for the United States government. They've been tapping everything I do. So if y'all hearing the echo, go back and look at my live video and you can hear the police scanner on that video. They definitely listening. But what I wanted to say was this disease is very real. The threat is very real. But I saw a lot of people protesting with masks on. We might not have been 6 feet apart, but I saw a lot of people with masks on. I saw 5,000 people in Oakland of all kind of races and ages partying. And if Oakland doesn't have the highest numbers in the nation in 2 weeks, that proves that maybe this social distancing experiment has run its course, and that we can go out and we have different means to handle ourselves when we go out. All you have to do is be aware. Be prepared, be aware.
I got a question. Shady, did you hear about the nurses in New York that's saying they got a lot of accusations? I heard one nurse say that they doing nothing to help corona patients in the hospital. And
I've heard that multiple times.
Their mortality rate. And the other nurses are saying, like, commit suicide, killing themselves. What's going on? I
didn't hear that. That I didn't hear about, man. But we had Carly on the show the other week, and she was saying that it's only thing they can do is give you a little bit of assurance and rest and let you die.
Yeah. Man.
So, unfortunately, this is a little different than our regular flu because it's passed as quick as the common cold. And that's what made this a little bit different. But I think they did weaponize that. And I don't know who they are, but I feel like it was weaponized and it was used to either it was them or it was nature. Somebody decided we got to sit down. But now that we're here and we're sitting, I'm very glad that people are paying attention. I'm very glad that people are involved, because if it wasn't for the fact that we had all of these catastrophes, murder hornets and COVID and all kind of other stuff, right? Maybe this would not have been paid attention to quite as much. And the whole world is watching because they had to pay attention. Maybe this is karma.
Maybe. Hey, and this leads up to our next topic, which is comics on the road, which is
yes, sir.
And today we did kind of get about a road topic. Leon kind of led us into it. We went on the road with Leon in Indianapolis, and he remembered more about that than we did.
Hey, man, I'm gonna tell you, we saw the cops. We saw cops wilding out there.
We used to get too fucked up on that road, man. We don't remember nothing, bro. I know. I remember going, but Leon was telling us about stuff that we didn't even remember.
I'll tell you what I do remember. We was driving. Leon, I think we was in a Ford Escape, I think. And we saw a state trooper cut across the median doing like 40 miles an hour, flip a U-turn, and start heading 40 going north in our direction, man. And we thought, the thing is, we immediately got scared. Now, we're 3 comedians. We ain't trafficking drugs. We ain't drunk, none of that, right? But we see a cop flip a U-way on the highway while we on our way to the show, and everybody in the car turned into a statue. We all sat still.
Mm-hmm.
We was just sitting there like this. Looking.
Hey Steve getting you, bro. He said fuck Randy.
Don't be trying to. Don't even say that man's name. He is now from here on out. He is Republican Ruckus. That is his name. I will not refer to him as such. He is Republican Ruckus from today
Steve
forward.
trying to kick y'all off, man. Steve,
Yeah, man. Hey, man, I think I really hurt that man's feelings, man. I remember he responded to one thing, and he was like, I understand how you feel and all that. And I mean, a piece of me wanted to feel bad.
No Republicans over here. Look.
No, don't say that. Don't say that. He said that. I didn't say that.
What I will say is, like, our road trips are amazing, and we gonna continue this road trip story. We running out of time on our show, so we gotta do a recap because at the end of the day, y'all don't realize how excellent the show was. And they shut us down most of the time. We started the show. We had to restart the show because the government. I guarantee you.
I mean, don't blame the government yet, bro. That's how we getting shut down now. Somebody, just say somebody.
Somebody is trying to shut us down. So what I'm saying is that once we start talking about unity, even Leon did it. When Leon Rogers talked about black unity and getting together, we still don't all the way know what he was talking about because they cut him off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what we gonna do is we gonna recap with our big bro Leon and find out what he was talking about, and then we gonna actually start what he was saying because it made sense and we need to do it. Secondly, we had to redo Get 'em. We didn't even get to Get 'em on the second part, but we got it. So I'm gonna put it in on the Get 'em things later. But Shady, I think you had a great point talking about Trump. I think we are doing a great thing, marching. And I think that what we talked to Cello, and he's working in political areas and in the hood, and he's changing lives. I've known him doing that for a long time. It's my brother, man. He's always been a good dude, man. So what do you think about the show?
No, man, I thought the show was great, man. First of all, big shout out to Leon Rogers, the Destin legend, man, WGCI, man, and everything that he's done. I really appreciate a radio personality taking time out that day to jump on me and Bo's show. Big shout out to Cello as well. You know, and a big shout out to all the people who checked in and commented, man. We really appreciate anybody who's taken a little bit of time out your day to see two angry black men try to talk about life. I really do appreciate that, man. And it was a good show. It's always a good show, man. So thank you all for tuning in, for real.
And you know what? I forgot, you know, when Leon came back in, we were supposed to tell him happy birthday because his birthday is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And I do want to still put that out there. Happy birthday, big bro. You know what I'm saying? I know it's
yes, sir.
And I know the Destin Legend is gonna do his thing because we opening up the city. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to say that. And he had to leave because he had to do some Fox News business, you know, a little more bigger news station, radio station.
We still got him, no?
Got your ass. Secure the bag. And
secure the bag.
So he texted me and let us know that everything cool. He didn't just leave us. So you know what I'm saying? We was only supposed to have him for about 15 minutes anyway. We had him for 40, so we got blessed. So thank y'all, man. We really truly appreciate y'all for coming out, man. You know, everybody who joined in, everybody who logged in, thank y'all. We appreciate y'all. You know, it's about time for tu-shay'de to get the heck out of here. Shady, you got any final words?
Peace. Let's push peace. Let's push positivity, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Let's push peace. Let's push positivity. Let's not buy into the regular stereotypes of showing black people tearing each other down. There's so many images of black people stopping these looters. There's so many videos of the black people exposing the snipers in Chicago and the things that the news is not talking about. Let's push those images going forward, please.
And let's also push, like Cello said, let's fight for reform. Keep fighting for that reform. The reason why we are marching, let's not just focus on the future, but let's focus on us not getting to repeat the past. And that's
100%.
Story. That's a wonderful statement. I'm gonna leave you guys with something that again Cello said to us in the conversation, and I thought it was so genius.
Mm-hmm.
The Constitution was not for us, meaning the minorities who we really aren't. But the Constitution wasn't for us. It was loaned to us through the Civil Rights Act. And that's why we don't get the same freedoms as
100%.
our white brethren who supposedly this Constitution was for. Because
100%.
apparently back then when the Constitution was wrote, we was only 3/4 of a man or 5/5 of a man.
4/5. I think it was 4/5.
Whatever they try to say, because they wasn't man enough to try to beat us in person and in our face.
I tell you what, we not 4/5 human. I'll tell you that part. I know what started racism.
I bet these 4/5 will give you motherfucking that. No, but
I bet you these 9 to 10 inches ain't. How we 4/5 human, but we got the biggest. All right, I ain't gonna start. I ain't gonna even start.
We ain't gonna worry about it. Get your motherfucking big head ass in the goddamn motherfucking house.
You ain't even say it right, stupid.
When you say it, goddammit.
Get your ass in the goddamn house. Hold on, put it back up. I can read Negro real good. Get your ass in the goddamn house before I beat your mother flipping aha. I'm trying not to cuss on the show so much. Peace.
Peace. We love. Yeah. What you want to do? It's over. We made it.
It's over.